2 weeks ago, we read about the revelation of God at Mount Sinai. All the Jewish people who had exited Egypt came to the mountain, and God revealed God's self and declared the first two of the 10 commandments. I am the Lord your God, and I brought you out from the land of Egypt. All the souls that were present at Mount Sinai are alive today. They're our souls. We have those souls that experience that knowledge of God and has it imprinted on our souls that we carry with us. The transcendent moments of knowing God are ones that we are sometimes blessed to have. Maybe when we look at the Alps, or we see a baby being born, or we have moments where we just know deep down that God is there, and God is existent, and God is transcendent, and God is immanent. Last week we read Parshat Mishpatim, which gave us many of the laws connected to Mount Sinai, connected to the revelation of God at Sinai. We got the beginning of the Torah. We get the laws, the guidebooks, how to live our lives, to bring God into the interactions we have with each other, when we're merciful to each other, when we take care of each other, when we return lost objects, when we unload the burden of our enemy's donkey, when we do things to take care of each other in merciful, compassionate, and loving ways that is guided by God through the Torah, then we are bringing God into our everyday, mundane interactions with each other. This week's Torah portion is called Teruma, where we are enjoined to give, to take from what God has given us. God has given us resources. He's given us strengths and money, and so much of who we are and what we have is gifts from God that we then give back. We give to each other, we give to God, we give to Torah institutions, we give charity, we build hospitals, we give, and to who we give, we love, and we're invested in, and we have a relationship with. So when God says, give to build this Mishkan, this tabernacle, this place in the desert where God will reside, God says, I'll reside there, but I also reside within you. So we're taking God into our hearts, not only by giving, but by loving. And we love to whom we give. So when we give of our resources, when we give of our time, when we give of our money, we come to love. So there are 3 steps that we just learned about in ways in which we have a full relationship and connection to God through the transcendent moments, through the Har Sinai moments, through the everyday interactions, the mundane interactions we have with each other, and through giving, through taking from the gifts that God has given us and giving them and investing them in relationships with each other and relationships with God. And when we do these 3 things that connect us to the divine, that connect us to something much bigger than ourselves, we find joy. This week, tomorrow, we start the first day of the month of Adar, where we're taught that your joy, that your simcha should increase, meaning that perhaps these are the moments where we can tap into all 3 different ways to connect to God, through the transcendent, through the mundane, and through the giving, that they bring us to have a closer relationship to God, which is what we yearn for deep down. And when we have that, we'll experience true joy.